Hey, thank you for joining me on Legislative Update. I'm Dan Kristiansen, your 39th District State Representative. The newest preliminary budget forecast figures have just come in. Washington State has an $8.3 billion budget deficit. That's the largest deficit in the history of our state. Washington is also experiencing the largest unemployment in decades. More than 252,000 Washingtonians are now out of work, and just last month, more than 75,000 people filed for new unemployment. So how do we fix this? I'm going to get back to that in just a moment, but first, let me tell you what some of the out-of-touch politicians down here in Olympia are discussing. It begins with the T word, taxes. Several tax measures are being floated for possible consideration, including an income tax. The Senate Majority Leader recently told a Seattle television station, quote, "If we decide an all-cuts budget is not something we can accept because of the impacts, then we will consider revenue options at that point." End quote. Revenue options? That's kind of a delicate term used here in Olympia for tax increases. Let me make it very clear to you where I'm coming from. I am adamantly opposed to increasing your taxes, especially at a time when families are struggling to pay the bills and put food on their tables. Taxpayers did not get us into this mess, and they shouldn't be expected to bail out government. And more taxes could mean further jobs lost. What is their answer to that? An economic stimulus package that creates more government jobs and puts our state at further risk of deeper budget deficits. The stimulus package being offered would create construction jobs by building public works projects. That may be great for those who've lost their jobs in the construction industry, but how is that going to help those who've recently been employed from, say, Boeing, Microsoft, or any other non-construction related jobs? The next Olympia answer to that is to extend unemployment benefits. That's also great, but the bottom line is that people need jobs. So how do we get our economy moving again and our budget situation fixed? First, we need to take the anti-jobs legislation in Olympia completely off the table. There's a lot of it, especially with the climate change bills, which are guaranteed job killers. Washington, just so you know, has among the cleanest environment in the nation, and the climate changing bills moving forward would have little or no effect on our situation here. We need to move our focus from climate change over to changing the business climate and making Washington a better place for job creation. Once people are working, more revenues will come to the state, which, this brings me to the budget. We cannot tax ourselves into prosperity. If an income tax is such a good idea, why do those states with the largest deficits have a state income tax? California is a good example of that. Washington citizens in the past have rejected an income tax at least 6 times, and with good reason. Tax increases would further harm our state's economy. What we need to do is put bloated state government on a diet. It means standing up for hardworking taxpayers, you, and middle-class families. You have to set priorities in your budgets, and most people they've curtailed their spending. State government needs to do the same thing. It means finding better ways to do more with less and becoming more efficient in state government. As one citizen recently told the Seattle Times television program, it says, how about let's do something different, maybe something that's never been tried in government before. Responsible spending. I want to welcome your comments. Please contact me with the numbers below. Again, I'm State Representative Dan Kristiansen.